Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. We're actually going to be talking about great things to do in Tanzania. Which actually comes out at a great time because we're going to be running our first photography tour to Tanzania in August. So make sure you check the link below if you're interested. It's going to be awesome.
And if you like our videos, we're going to be doing a lot more top 10s throughout the summer because we have been to more than 100 countries over the past 20 years of travel. We've spent a lot of time in each country so we can do a good little, our top 10 tips of what to see and do at each one that we've been to. So stay tuned. This is the first of our series.
So most people, when they're heading to Tanzania, are going to visit Arusha, and this is highly recommended. First, you have to go to the Arusha Cultural Center, which has all these incredible crafts, masks, anything you want that is Tanzanian, you can find at this place.
It has also Africa art from all over the continent. It's one of the best displays of African art that I've ever seen. So you have to go, and they'll even ship everything home for you if you decide to buy something. And while you're there, just down the street, you have to go to the Shenga Village. This is a really great place. It is an artisan place where they help people with disabilities hone their skills so that they can sell their own arts and crafts. And it's really uplifting to go to. And these artisans, they are very talented and it's sustainable.
And you get to watch them make it, and you can buy it afterwards to help support that whole operation. Now, if you're in Tanzania, you're going to visit a lot of national parks. One that we highly recommend is Lake Manyara, which is an alkaline lake that's pretty famous for its pink flamingos.
It is so wicked to see the millions of birds flying around. You can walk out on a boardwalk to go see everything closer. There's hippos in the water. It's really a spectacular scene, and there is a lot of wildlife there as well. We saw just an incredible display of baboons. I'm talking hundreds and probably thousands of baboons.
It was like
walking.
Planet of the Apes kind of thing.
Totally was awesome. It was one of the coolest things where we saw giraffes on the shore. I've never seen anything like it.
It was pretty awesome.
There were at least 15 to 20 giraffes we saw in one spot just standing like statues. It was gorgeous. Definitely go there.
For sure. Now, no visit to Tanzania would be complete without visiting a Maasai village. Now, this is something that you have to go and do to get a feel for what it was like for the Maasai tribes and living out there in Tanzania.
Yeah, it's become a little bit touristy now because, you know, it's everybody. They're one of the most organized tribes in all of Africa for getting tourists to come and see their way of life.
They got tourism down.
Yeah, but it is really fascinating to see, and to see them in their traditional dress and visit their village. Just one word of warning: do not let them talk. Don't let them talk you into buying too much.
No.
A lot of people really get taken for a ride there. And everyone that was in our van with us, they felt really bad about the amount of money they spent in the village. So you know what? You can barter with them. We got some great crafts for a very reasonable price. And if you don't want to buy anything at all, you can say no.
Now, I know one place that I always wanted to visit in Tanzania was the Ngorongoro crater. Not just because the name is so cool, but it's this incredible ecosystem with like houses like 45,000 animals. It's absolutely incredible to see.
And it's all surrounded by this giant caldera. All of the animals are inside living in harmony. And this is the largest non-submerged, non-broken caldera in the world. So it's pretty cool to see just in its own right. And then to see these zebras and lions all living in harmony. I felt like I was in a little world of utopia. It felt like a Disney cartoon.
It did. It felt like I was in The Lion King, actually.
Seriously. A lot of people don't think of Tarangire National Park, but it is very cool because it's one of the only national parks that it's surrounded completely by civilization. So, you know, you're right out there and there are communities all around the park. And this is a place where we really had some really cool moments.
Yeah, we got to see lions in trees, which is something that you don't see very often at all.
Our first time ever.
Yeah, so it's pretty unique to that area. Also, just the sheer amount of elephants that we saw in this park was enough to absolutely blow your mind.
Yeah, it was really cool watching the elephants and the zebras and the buffalo all walking to the watering hole. It's really neat because they're all walking together at once. Yeah. And then we had lunch over the watering hole and we were watching them all drink and graze, and then They crossed and they moved on. It was very cool.
And that's where we actually had that, remember that bull elephant experience?
Oh,
where he was
totally.
like so close to us and almost like he did like a fake charge. It freaked everybody out.
Yeah,
I loved it.
when you see elephants on their own, it's usually either an old male that's been kicked out of the pack or a young male that's been kicked out of the pack, and he has to go find his own place. So they can be a little bit aggressive at
Bit
times.
temperamental.
Yeah. It was there we saw the ostriches mating
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
that's true.
I had never seen that before. It was wild. We watched the whole ostrich dance of
Yeah.
the mating. I loved it.
It was very unique to see that. I think I remember when our guide stopped and he's like, "You have to see this," and it was definitely well worth it.
One of the things we are doing on our photography tour is we are going to go to the Great Migration. Dave and I haven't yet got to do this, so this is going to be a first for us. But we have taken a balloon safari over the Great Plains of Africa before, and then I can't wait to do it during the migration. I'm definitely going to invest in one.
For sure.
I think it's one of the best things you can ever do. It's extremely expensive.
Yeah.
They range anywhere from $400 to $700 for a balloon ride. But if you're going to do one once in your life, you have got to do it.
Yeah, this is the place to do it. It gives you that unique vantage point to take in those beautiful plains of Africa and see wildlife running. It's just like you're in a movie.
And you get to stop and land in the middle of the Serengeti and have some champagne and a picnic for breakfast. We're all about the champagne.
I like that part. Now, a place that doesn't get visited a whole lot would be the Olduvai or Oldupai Gorge, which is the cradle of civilization.
It is so cool because this is basically where humans began. This is the first human existence. This is where they found the remains of the first hominoids, I should say. This was their walking path, their migration area, dating back 3 million years. So it is just really cool to see, and it's a really beautiful sight. I would love to go hiking through there.
Yeah,
next
me
time.
too. So there's a lot of great cultural experiences in Tanzania, and is one for sure that you have to do is visit the Arak village. I'm not very good
You
at
did
it.
it really well. No, I think you did it. I love this way more than visiting the Maasai
Yes.
village. It was just really a real experience. You got in there and you were singing and dancing with the villagers. We met the chief of the tribe.
Yeah.
They dressed us in their sarongs and their headdresses. It was so much fun.
And when everybody came out, like the whole village came out when they were playing the drums, and all the women are playing the drums and the men are dancing, and it was just such a, you really felt like you were sort of in the heart of Africa then, you know, it really was. You had to, you can't help but absorb it all. One of the things you can't miss in Tanzania is the beauty and sheer size of the Rift Valley.
This is so spectacular. It actually spans almost the whole continent of Africa. It starts in Lebanon and then it goes all the way down to Mozambique. We stayed in this amazing hotel called Kilimamojo Lodge that had the most incredible view overlooking the valley.
Oh yeah.
Dave and I, we've cycled through the Rift Valley before and we've seen the Rift Valley before, but I had never seen it from this vantage point, and it was so beautiful.
And it really gave you an appreciation for how huge this, beautiful, lush part of the Rift Valley is. And to stand there and watch sunrise over that's a moment you will never forget in Tanzania.
It is the mother of all safari destinations on Earth. I'm talking, there's nowhere better than the Serengeti.
And I think one of the reasons that it really stands out is not only its sheer size, but I think that its sheer density of lions. Like when you're going on safari, truthfully, you're going to see some lions, right? That's what you want to see the most, the king of the jungle, or the king of the Serengeti. And there's no doubt in my mind that if you go there, you will see a lion.
Oh, you see everything. On one day we saw, I'm not lying, 20 lions.
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of mothers and cubs. We saw 3 male lions stalking elephants. We saw elephants stalking lions. We saw lions chasing a female, trying to mate with her. It was absolutely spectacular. And then we ended off the day seeing a leopard climb a tree. You know how rare that is? It's amazing.
It really
and in
is.
the Serengeti, you're just going to have a really great chance of seeing it. And the reason you do also is because everyone always spends several days in the Serengeti. You got 3 nights in the Serengeti where you're really going to get to see all the big 5. Do you know what the big 5 are, Dave?
The big 5 are leopard, lion, elephant, buffalo. What's the last one?
Did you say rhino?
No,
Rhino.
There we go.
The poor cheetah doesn't make the big
No, it
5,
doesn't.
but it is really cool to see cheetahs.
Yes.
I'm putting that right up there with the big 5. All right, drum roll, please. What is our #1 recommendation to do when you go to Tanzania?
Is to climb Mount Kilimanjaro.
Woo!
For anyone who's an adventurer out there, this is like really at the top of the list. It's the highest peak in Africa. There's 2 different routes going up Kilimanjaro. There's the whiskey route, which is the tough one that we did, or there's the Pepsi route, which is the one that's a little bit easier. You won't be disappointed no matter which one you do, because both have spectacular views of Mount Kilimanjaro, and they both take you up to the summit.
And you don't have to have any climbing experience. I recommend if you are doing the whiskey route, the Mashame route that we did, that you have that you are comfortable scrambling, because you are doing a little bit of sheer cliff scrambles, you know, where you have to have 3 points of contact at all times. But if you don't have any experience, this is something you can do if you're fit, if it's always something you wanted to push yourself to the limit, do that ultimate bucket list bragging rights trip. This is the one to do. It is something I will never forget, and it's my #1 choice.
Definitely, I agree 100%. Actually, on our photography tour, we are going to Zanzibar as well. It's such a great place to relax after you've taken in all the wildlife and the culture of Tanzania. And what a lot of people don't know is it's actually the birthplace of Freddie Mercury.
Zanzibar also has some of the best beaches in the world.
Yeah.
They're white sandy beaches that go really far out during the tide. It's really cool to see because all of the boats, they just
They sit
sit on
there,
the shore. Yeah, and then everyone goes out and starts picking for clams and things like that. So it's really wild. You have to go spend some time on the beach and do some of the water sports.
So those are our recommendations for what you should do when you're in Tanzania. Take a look at them, choose the ones that you think are right for you, and hey, if you're looking for a great adventure, make sure to check out the link below because we are doing our photography tour there in August of this year. And hey, come on and join us. We'd love to see you. And don't forget to subscribe.